If there's one thing the pandemic has taught us, it's that many of us can do our jobs from literally anywhere. Whether it's working from home or taking a conference call on the beach, remote working definitely has its advantages. I'm Kalila Reynolds, and it's time for another episode of Money Moves, JA, brought to you in partnership with Exim Bank's Business Advisory Service, giving you the tools to grow your business. My guest today is Head of Marketing at Jamlite Innovations, Kesi Gardner. Hi, Kesi. Thanks for joining me.
Hi, Kalila. Happy to be here. Thanks for inviting me.
All right. So before we get into it, just give me a little bit of context as to what Jamlite does, because we want to have people understand where you're coming from when we talk about remote working.
Okay, so Jamlite is owned by Tyrone Williams and Ansel Cadium. They met in high school, and they went to Jonathan Grant High School, and then they reconnected back in university. And their goal is really to help companies transform digitally. It started in 2012, and since then it's been almost 10 years since they've been working. And they're basically starting from the ground up, working with retail stores, gas stations, restaurants, and helping them to really have some of their systems be able to be done off-site.
Okay, so we're talking about digitization and digital transformation, which is a part of, or remote working is a part of that, right? Okay, so when I think about remote working, now you think about work from home. Pros and cons, it's not for everyone. You can also think of having your conference on the beach. You can literally do your work anywhere right now. So tell me some of the advantages, and then later on we can talk about disadvantages and how to overcome them of remote working.
So in the case of, we don't particularly work with like financial institutions or people with huge offices. We work with mostly, like I said, smaller companies who may have a store. And how that helps is, for example, we have a client who owns a auto parts store. So he's able to travel and be from anywhere in the world, and he's able to see, the income that's coming in, the payment processes coming in, how the business is spending their money, as well as he backs up his files in the case of an emergency, fire, disaster, or what have you, in the cloud. So that's kind of the advantages. You can be anywhere in the world. You don't necessarily have to be here. You could be traveling, whatever, and still be able to see the overall operations of your company, which is very helpful, for bottom line.
Right. That's a really good benefit, being able to see what's going on anywhere in the world. So do you have any actual data, any statistics that you can share on how employees have found working from home beneficial to them?
Well, Statin actually just came out last year with a report, and it said that over 30% of people that do work from home currently are satisfied with working from home.
Only 30%? Well, that means 70% are not satisfied?
I don't know. You'd have to talk to Statin about the details, but as far as I know, that's the stat that, of the people that were the study was, they did say that they preferred it. I guess it offers more work-life balance, right? And so that's kind of what we try to do, is offer that support to the admin and back office, so they're able, to not worry in the case of a pandemic, where you have to have some policy in place. We have to limit the people that are in the office. We're also trying to encourage people to have some sort of shift system as well. So in the case of a restaurant, for example, you only have the essential workers that need to be on the ground. And then we have a point of sale system that allows for processing of payment within 30 seconds or less. So that limits the time you have to be in the office.
Yeah. A shift system really makes a lot of sense, so that everybody's not in the office at the same time. Flexi work is another thing that, for some reason there's been a lot of resistance previously, and now that COVID is here and we see the utility of flexible working hours, remote working, and how that plays into the whole system. Have you found that people are finally now starting to accept this, that this is going to be the way that business is done going forward?
Well, we've been doing it for our clients for, like I said, it's been almost 10 years, and it does work for certain industries. We've found, like the retail, the restaurants, gas stations, and then in the case of people who are concerned about the securing their files, in the case of a fire or hurricane, for example, I mean, those are the things that you need to consider as well. So we've been preaching about digital transformation for a long time in our industry.
Yeah, I gather that the digital side of things is really, really important in being able to do the work that you want to do and having the level of productivity that you have in a regular office setting. So what are the things that an employer should have in place if they really want to make remote working possible and successful?
Well, in the case of the pandemic, like we said, having pandemic-specific policies in place, being able to communicate with your staff in somewhat real time. I mean, and anything from WhatsApp to Slack, any project management system that you may have. So
what's Slack? Tell me about Slack.
Slack is an online project management system where you just basically have everybody collaborate on notes and projects and that sort of thing. We use it a lot in our other industries as well, but just having apps like that. And with Jamlite, we actually offer some things that are not internet dependent. So you're able to still have access to files remotely or still do transactions remotely without an internet connection.
Right. So there's so many of them. You have Slack, you said, Trello, Asana. There's a million. There's a whole bunch of them that people have been turning to right now. Thank you so much, Kesi, for joining me and telling me about remote working and the benefits of it.
Thank you. I hope it was informative and helpful, and you can always ask us questions online at Jamlite POS.
Remote working allows you to be anywhere in the world and doesn't hinder you from checking on your company's day-to-day operations. According to data from Statin, over 30% of people that work from home are satisfied. Working from home offers work-life balance, and employers mandating work from home should have an effective communication setup such as WhatsApp or Slack.
That's it for this episode of Money Moves, JA, brought to you in partnership with Exim Bank's Business Advisory Service, giving you the tools to grow your business. Visit their website at eximbankja.com and visit my website, KalilaReynolds.com, for a summary of this episode. You can click the link in the description box below. I'm Kalila Reynolds. Until next time.
Let's get this money.